please be making your way to the ring. Platform voted for Marcelo Morales, Matthew Consuegra, Jenny Gonzalez, Eli Renteria Jr., Salvador Victoria, Matthew Consuegra, Katrina Nieto, Eric Munoz, David Salvador, Aldelia Sanchez, Jose Arabo, Noah Furman, Miranda Childress, and Adrian Autumn. A reminder to exhibitors, if you are showing an animal for someone else, do not wear the exhibitor number.
Mouth to mouth.
To reintroduce our judge for today. Our judge is Mr. Vic Lafio. He represents Sweeney, Texas. He graduated from Texas A&M University with a degree in animal science in 2014. He was on the 2013 National Champion Livestock Racing team. He grew up raising show cattle and currently raises livestock, sheep and your goats. Thank you for being here yesterday and today, evaluating our livestock species. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for the goat. Our plate ribbons are donated by Tim and Vicky Hanks. Our Grand Champion Banner and Reserve Champion Banner by David Wolf. Our Grand Champion Goat Couple donated by Willie and Ernesto Galvan. Our Reserve Champion Couple donated by Clinton Jenna Wolf. Our Senior Goat Championship Buffalo donated by Ranch Equipment in Harvard. Our Intermediate Goat Championship Buffalo donated by Guadalupe Betancourt. And our Junior Goat Championship donated by Clinton Jenna Wolf.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As we get started here in the Market Goat Show today, I think this is a good start in terms of just here in this lightweight division with this young lady's goat. I think this one balances exceptionally well from the profile. I know this one, she wants to fight with this goat a bit at times, but this one's big off of both ends of his skeleton. Really round in terms of his upper cage, handles with plenty of expression when you go in for close inspection. The goat that comes in too, that's just really good in terms of his handle quality, really hard to the touch. Maybe not quite as fresh as our class winner, but one that still handles with enough square shape down the top side of his, but a really nice one to follow suit there. The one that comes in 3 is one that you really appreciate build standpoint when put into motion. Just at times this one just doesn't want to quite drive quite hard enough in terms from when we go in for close inspection, but this one's really big in terms of his midrib, good in terms of his hip-joint junction. Just one that I want him to handle just a tick harder for him to move up a spot or two within this lineup. The doe kid that comes here into us at 4 is one that's really big and bold in terms of her rib. But what sorts this one down in terms into that 4 hole for me is when this one's put into motion, we want to drop our shoulders, we want to get a little heavier in terms of our front end. Just not quite as attractive when put into motion. One that's really bold and you have to be appreciative of like how big this one is in terms of its upper shape and right there out of his loin. But one that just gets a bit plainer when put into motion. The young man's goat that came into 5th is one that's just really hard to touch, one that gets us a bit flatter in terms of its forerib. It's not quite as expansive, and kind of the same that kind of goes with the one that comes here into 6th. I really like that one on the profile. The young man does a tremendous job in terms of showmanship. Just needed that one to be a little bit further along from a condition point to be able to move up higher in this lineup. I went ahead and visited with some of these other kids here as I went ahead and pulled them. Congratulate all these kids on you're well ran here and getting into the show today. Let's put your hands together one more time for this lineup.
Our placement in class one, first place, Cotulla I.S.D. Second place, Eric Muir. Third place, Adrian Alba. Fourth place, Jenna Gonzalez. Fifth place, Eli Cotulla Jr. Sixth place, Davion Salomon. Seventh place, Noah Fernie. Eighth place, Jose Morocco. Ninth place, Rochelle Arias. 10th place, Matthew Consueca. 11th place, Matthew Consueca. 12th place, Salvador Victor Zeno. 13th, Adelia Sanchez. 14th, Miranda George. Class 2 members, making your way to the arena. Our class 2 members are Mila Hernandez, Araceli Nieto, Joel Yanes, Ariel Gonzalez, Elvin Nieto, Ethan Ramirez, Ricardo Nieto, Eli Renteria Jr., Ezra Nieto, Grady Sample, Angelica Victorino, Juan Jose Carvalho, Adeline Espinosa, and Justin Yanes. Exhibitors being called back for showmanship from class 1, exhibitor 269, exhibitor 306, exhibitor 164, and exhibitor 394. Again, exhibitors being called back for showmanship from the first class 269, 306, 164, and 394. With that, I'd like to introduce our showmanship judge for today. Our showmanship judge is H.C. Neal. He grew up on a large-scale cow-calf ranch in the Gulf Coast of Texas. Through 4-H and FFA, he and his family competitively exhibited steer across the state, as well as being a member of the highly competitive livestock judging team. He attended Glenn College and Texas A&M University and was in the nationally competitive livestock judging teams. He also served as the assistant livestock coach. He worked as the director of breed improvement at the American Bronco Breeders Association and as the executive director for Sanders Breeders International. He and his family operate a cow herd and eating program that focuses on raising high-quality show cattle for 4-H and youth.
Well, she wasn't eating. She wasn't eating. She wasn't eating. She was eating. And I was like, maybe like when the show, it stopped. She wasn't eating. She wasn't eating. That's why I was really waiting. 2:30.
young man's goat that we lead off with is one that just probably paints the best picture from the profile. I think when he gets this one popped up, I think he's proportionate on the standstill. I know when this one's put into motion, he wants to kind of drop his chest plate ever so slightly, and that can disturb, but that'll take away from him. But one that's built good enough and has enough shape to him to go ahead and be this class winner here. The one that comes in second is probably just a thick stouter, specifically over his loin and right out the top side of his hip. But here's one that gets maybe just a little harder to look at times, just being a little weaker in terms of his pasture makeup. One that's got enough shape. One that balances really nicely from the profile when the young man gets this one stuck. But a nice complementary goat that I think needed to follow suit with our class winner. The one on 3, I love this one in terms on the standstill. But it's one in the touch and handle on this one is exceptionally good. But the problem is when I put this one in motion, he wants to get a little bit rounder off of both ends of his skeleton. It's a little steeper out of his hip and maybe doesn't quite function as soundly, specifically out of its hock that I would like to see. But a really good handling, good touch in 1 and 3. The one that comes here to us in 4 is one that is maybe just a little bit more raw, specifically over his loin edge in comparison to the 3 ahead. But one that paints a nice show goat look from the profile, wants to run uphill, but just maybe gets a tick steeper out of its hip when you put it in motion. The one that rounds out this top 5. I love this one in here. It's maybe not the most outer one of this lineup, but one that I think is presented well. One that's gets ordered from that attribute. One that has enough shape and squareness down the top side of the skeleton, but still being really youthful and green about his true muscle shape. But a nice one to follow there in 5. When he got there in 6 and 7 was 2 goats that I thought were really bold and powerful down in terms of their rib cage and their barrel, but ones that I needed to be stout on their pin set just to be able to move up any higher in this lineup. Let's put your hands together for a really nice class.
Our results from Class 2. First place, Eli Renteria Jr. Second place, Ricardo Nieto. Third place, Justin Yanez. Fourth place, Edwin Nieto. Fifth place, Ethan Ramirez. Sixth place, Alan Espinosa. Seventh place, Juan Jose Vergara. Eighth place, Brady Sanford. Ninth place, Elmer Nieto. 10th place, Ariel Gonzalez. Mila Fernandez. 12th, Anastasia Nieto. 13th, Joel Yanez. And 14th, Angelic Victoriano. Class 3 goat tippers, please be bringing your goats to the ring. Our Class 3 tippers are Ariel Gonzalez, Lacey Guzman, Carlos Ayala, Ryan Salceda, Nikhil Vergara, Danica Walker, Noah Freddy, Justin Yanez, John De La Rosa, Elric Nieto, Echo Sample, Rochelle Wright, and Georgino III. While they're bringing it on to thank our donors again for the book show. Our place ribbons are donated by Jim and Vicki Hanks. Our grand and reserve champion donated by James Wolf. Our grand champion buckle donated by Ernie Ernesto and Willie Yaman. Our reserve grand champion buckle donated by Clint and Jenna Wolf. Our senior goat championship buckle donated by Ranch Equipment Hardware. Our intermediate goat championship buckle donated by Guadalupe Betancourt. And our junior goat championship buckle donated by Kurt and Jenna. Our showmanship exhibitors being called back for Class 2. Exhibitor 159, Exhibitor 263, Exhibitor 326, Exhibitor 151, Transitor 174.
Sorry. Sorry. Knife? Yes. Thanks. Sorry, be careful, I just sharpened it.
Really nice bouquet to lead off with here. The pink hip female is really nice in terms of her balance and complementarity and complements via build. This one handles with the most natural shape down the top side of her skeleton, and just works in terms of her center cage and body. That's what we look for in terms of just from a touch standpoint. The one that comes here in a second, that one handles exceptionally well from the back. I want that one to be just a tick fresher, specifically right over his rack edge. But we really appreciate in terms of one that can get out and move good enough. One that just maybe gets a little more restraint out of its hip in comparison to our class winner, but a really high-end pair up top on the top end of this class. The one that comes here to 3, really like this one, little standpoint on the standstill. Love this one in terms of its touch. extremely hard and when I go in for close inspection. I think this one handles with just as much shape as anything that we got out here, but just we need to balance some things a little bit better proportionate from the profile on this profile. The young man's scope that comes here forward, the Red Hawk, there is one that you appreciate just the overall density that he's got, but we just got to get more fat cover over him just to kind of blend over that one edge, get a little bit more hydration up high, so that one that way maybe a spot or two within this lineup. The one that comes to us next, really long body, really one that's elevated, but this one gets a little bit more restricted in terms of being a little shorter out of his hip and just not quite as smooth in terms of its stride. Another thing that I'd like to see is just more hydration, more expansion, particularly over his one edge, but a really nice complementary top 5 up here. There in 6 and 7, you got one that comes there at 6. It's really good in terms of its build from the profile. Love that one from that standpoint. We just got to be chunkier so that way we can allow that thing just to freshen up, just to shape up high. And the doe kid that comes there in 7, one that maybe just gets out horsed in terms of size and elevation, but this one does have some mass, just maybe not quite as fresh as the ones that have it. Let's put your hands together for a really nice class.
Thank you, Judge. Our class 3 winner. First place, Daniel Walker. Second place, Carlos Ayala. Third place, Lacey Guzman. Fourth place, Oscar Lee. Fifth place, Yorkie Nieto III. Sixth place, Michelle Ramon. Seventh place, Echo Sample. Eighth place, Justin Yanes. Ninth place, Ryan Salcedo. 10th place, John De La Rosa. 11th, Ariel Gonzalez. 12th, Ellery Nieto. 13th, Yusio Vergara. The exhibitor is being called back for showmanship in class 3. Exhibitor 3, exhibitor 393, exhibitor 274, exhibitor 277, and 167. Class 4 exhibitors, bring your votes to the lead. Our class 4 exhibitors are Lacey Guzman, Joel Yanes, Jose Ravala, Edrin Nieto, Danica Walker, Ryan Salcedo, Ariana Ramirez, Eric Munoz, Zachary Romero, Adrian Alba, Georgie Nieto III, Zachary Romero, and Carlos Ayala.
Let's go.
Easy Olive Timber. Texas Farm Bureau agent Julie Walker has donated a free photo of 5x7 photos for any center that wants a photo taken. It can be a ring shot or a banner shot by the backdrop. You can go to the booth back here for one of our photographers and we'll get a free 5x7 photo, all of the pictures. So we want to thank Texas Farm Bureau Julie Walker for that donation. So after the show, we can take a photo or a ring shot. Come back here and get your free photo. I'll tell you, video another. It's now 4-H is selling tostadas. 2 tostadas in a drink for $5. They're right up here under the tree in front of the show. So go support it's now 4-H and get a good tostada.
que entraron y yo creo que después todo esto nosotros batallamos después para ver cuál número que estaban para mí. Hay años donde entramos y hay cosas que no les son de volar, pero este año yo sí entramos en ese clase donde estaba y también
One to lead off with that's got some big pieces to them. I mean, the running gear, this one's, you haven't seen one that's built like that in terms of today, in terms of just foot and bone size alone. One that's early in terms of his cage. If I'm going hypercritical, I just want to keep seeing that one continue to get fuller in terms of his one edge, really being hypercritical of a really nice one there. The one that comes in too, one that's really stout in terms of his upper pin, really in terms of his handle quality, one that balances up exceptionally well, and the young man does a nice job. The one that comes here in three, one that's really grooved in terms of his upper back, really like how creasy this one is in terms from that standpoint. When this one gets put into motion, it just becomes just a little concerning in terms of his knee, but I think on the standstill and on the prop up, you have to appreciate this one just from overall muscle standpoint that this one does have. The one that comes here in four, I love this one in terms of its muscle texture. I like how smooth this one is in terms of training. Just maybe gets outsized in terms of maybe from a weight standpoint or a frame standpoint within this lineup up out here, but one that you still have to appreciate and you want to talk about because of just how good this one handles in terms of his back shape. The one that comes here to us in five is one that wants to drop out in terms of his chest for a bit, but you still appreciate him and allow him to stay here in his top five, just for overall from the skeletal width and the shape that he does have handle up high, because he still does upstand with his rack shape, just gets a little bit rounder to that point edge. Well, the goat that came in there in the six was one that you really appreciate on the standstill. But when you just want to really study him, he becomes a little bit this doesn't quite move good enough for him. He wants to close up at the hog, just doesn't want to put enough expansion from that stand. A nice one that falls into that six hole. And the one that came there in the seventh, they like that one on the standstill, like him up propped up. He just needs a little bit more mass, a little bit more cover, and you'll get him to move up any higher. Put your hands together for a really nice class.
Our class 4 winner is first place, Janica Walker. Second place, Ryan Salceda. Third place, Zachary Romero. Fourth place, Adrian. Fifth place, Zachary Romero. Sixth place, Carlos Ayala. Seventh place, Eric Munitz. Eighth place, Lacey Guzman. Ninth place, Jorge Villarreal. 10th, Jose Garabalo. 11th, Joel Yanes. 12th, Ariana Ramirez. And 13th, Edwin Nieto. We now need us in second place goats back in the ring for our grand and reserve champion goat selection. Then we will have, after our grand and reserve selection, we'll have our showmanship. The individuals being called back for showmanship: 164, 159, 151, 174, 167, 163, 269, 263, 274, 277, 306, 394, 326, 382, 393, and 383. Dan will stay back there for Kent. Class 1 first place, Cotulla I.S.D. Class 2 second place, Eric Nunez. Class 2 first place, Eli Renteria Jr. Second place, Ricardo Jose Nieto. Class 3 first place, Jennifer Walker. Second place, Carlos Ayala. And class 4 is Jennifer Walker. Second place, Ryan Salcedo. We need exhibitor Katrina Nieto, your first place goat.
Let's put your hands together for a really nice marketing show here. When you sit out here and you study these class winners in these seconds, I think there's some logical things to be said and be done. You just kind of read briefly, iterating back from your class 1s to class 4s. Those class 1s, were ones that came to us with some shape and some look and some eye appeal. Ones that handled with enough shape and dimension to get themselves into that 1 and 2 hole up there. That class winner was one that was just really fresh to the touch, and that one that came in second was one that was just really extremely hard when you go in for that inspection. Just a little bit greener today. When you got there into that class 2, you got one that kind of just exceptionally well on the prop up, and the young man he did a really nice job in terms of presentation with that goat. The one that came into 2 was one that handled this a tick fresher in comparison to our class winner, but just didn't have that extra ring presence that our class winner had. When compared to class 3, you had 2 goats that were handled with some shape and dimension. But that doe kid just was tremendous in terms of being boxy, in terms of her height and time. One that's really dimensional in terms of her hip and hind leg, and just really handles with a tremendous amount of shape, specifically over her one edge. When we move there into our class 4, we got one that just comes at us with a lot of big pieces in terms of foot and bone and shag. One that handles with plenty of power and shape, is one that you really appreciate a lot of good things about, just from how extreme that weather is. And then we got one that comes out of that second place exceptionally well. One that was really uniform in terms of his build, exceptional there. One that was extremely big in terms of his pin set, just doesn't have quite the big extreme pieces that our class winner there had at class 4. I'm going to put this mic down, put your hands together one more time, and I'll go out here and select your champion.
Your grand exhibitor is Danica Walker. We're going to take photos and then take about a 10-minute break, and then we'll get started with our junior showmanship. About a 10 break, and then we'll get started with junior showmanship. And those junior showmanship exhibitors are 164, 159, 151, 174, 167, and 163. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. We're going to get started with our junior showmanship for the goat division. The junior exhibitor, 164, 159, 151, 174, 167, and 163. Please be bring your goats to the ramp. And junior exhibitors, be getting your goats ready. Our intermediate children, 200, 263, 274, and 277. Intermediate showmen, please line up at the gate. 269, 263, 274, and 227. Please be lining up at the gate.
Well, good morning, everybody, or it might be afternoon by now, I'm not quite sure, but, clap for good morning, that's pretty cool. Alright, but, hey, we get into, our junior goat showmanship here, and man, just, real thrilled, to be back out here again today, for our second day. Really thought, there was a lot of depth as we go through here, through each of these divisions and talk about each one of these kids, and really think, even as we got here into the juniors, was watching throughout the show, and I thought that these kids really did a nice job kind of putting these things together, right? And so, I guess maybe a few things we can talk about. You kids maybe, I guess, kind of draw the short end of the stick happening first. But some things that maybe I look for as we kind of transition hog showmanship to not only just, Rambo type showmanship, but cattle as well, and maybe just a few things that I kind of look for from that perspective. So, from there, I want you to be able to come through, and I think it's important, work hard and do what you need to do, but, at the same time, almost look like you're kind of hardly working a little bit. And what I mean by that is constantly paying attention, fixing what you need to, but maybe, getting yourself to a point whenever we get them stuck in crop right here, whenever we're setting up our camp, maybe there's not just a whole lot of work that we need to do, right? And trying to get them locked into it as best we can. Here on the goat side, making sure appropriately whenever I'm coming up and working on getting a handle these types of things, making sure that we're transitioning. And, I went out to eat last night, and a young man that did really well in hog showmanship came up to me and asked me, to do better, and he and I had a conversation about, getting between the judge and your animal. And I think it's a big importance that for me as a judge, whenever I'm looking and kind of trying to figure out what I want to do, I never want to, have my view obstructed of that animal. And so talking about transitioning and making sure when I'm coming around in the front, I'm going to look at that animal's chest and just making sure that we're smooth from that perspective as well. A little pet peeve thing in mind that I have as we kind of go in all species, right? If I'm coming around and I'm right there looking at your animal and that's what you decide to circle out, probably not the best time in my opinion, and maybe just kind of hold what you got for a second, let me get my look, and then whenever we're done, then we can circle out and get reset and do what we need to, right? For you juniors, excellent job that we've got right here. As these goats have continued to kind of stay out here and get reworked at times, maybe we get a little stretched out, at times maybe we could, get feet placed just a little bit square, but again, I still think that's being very picky, and these kids really did an excellent job. So as I come out here and I start thinking about, junior showman, a word that I mentioned last night comes to mind, it's consistency. Right, and going through and which one just gives me the most consistent views of that and propped up the way that they needed to be, which one's the most consistent in terms of how they transition, which young person do I think out here is just the smoothest and the way that they put together. And in my mind, it's really close, right? But there is one young person out here that I thought just as we talk about these things was just the most consistent all the way through, the most consistent in terms of transitioning the way they needed to, the most consistent in terms of when I went up to handle and doing what that young person needed to, the most consistent in terms of getting placement. Let me congratulate that young man right there on the end. That's a champion junior playing. Awesome job to you and all these kids.
It's 12 o'clock. That's every day at 12 o'clock.
Our champion junior showman is Zachary Romero.
Yeah, it sounds scary because it sounds like a scary siren.
Carrying the next showman, exhibit are Jimmy Gonzalez, Adeline Espinosa, George Leandro III, and Echo Sam. Senior exhibitors, please be bringing your notes to the gate. Exhibitors 306, 394, 326, 382, 393, and 383. This means bringing your up to the infantry.
Well, I come to the mic a little quicker this time. So just kind of throughout the entirety of the show, I was figuring out, I guess, what I would say about this intermediate division because, you know, I don't want this to come across the way because it was absolutely not meant to. So I think all of our intermediate show, I did a very good job, a very capable job, but I've kind of pegged this in my mind as the sometimes division, right? You know, what we talk about, I've seen everything. And as we go through and watch throughout the entirety of the show, it kind of became to me, so okay, sometimes, you know, we're doing things exactly how we need to, and then sometimes, you know, maybe not kind of training the way we need to. Sometimes maybe not quite positioned the way that we need to really get those braced on how we do. So I would say that each of these young people throughout the entire intermediate division, I'd say 80% of the time did a bang-up good job. 20% of the time, maybe there were some things that we could adjust just slightly, and we'd be just a little quicker to the draw, get a couple of those things done, right? But again, I thought very competitive division, but we bring these 4 young people out here because again, I thought when we just talk about I could find that the most consistently I thought did those things as correctly as possible. I thought they really stuck out. And so, you know, I think about this, you know, thinking about, well, maybe why we're a few less pulled back. Number one, the numbers are a little bit slimmer in this particular division, just like they were in the Hawks last night. Just not as many intermediate kids. And then we talk about consistency, and then for another reason, right? You know, for me, first impressions are a huge, huge thing in anything in life. life, right? And first impressions are incredibly important, whether you're in a kind of a business professional setting, but in my mind, especially when you're judging livestock and at these kinds of events, right? And there was one young person in here that I thought truly probably could have, rolled up in each division and been just as competitive. One of those young people that just kind of came in with the eye of the tiger, was focused and driven, yet still very poised and relaxed. And again, just talking about one can get one stuff at a high level, one that's very, very smooth. Buddy, right there, thank you. A heck of a showing. Really, really good job, man.
Your champion intermediate showman is working the end of the third. Senior showman 306, 394, 326, 382, 393, and 383. Please come to the ring.
Never mind. Honestly, when I feel normal.
We finish at the goat showmanship. This is going to be the first call for our halter heifers. This will be the first call for our halter heifers. Heifers will begin at 1 o'clock sharp. So head on out after this showmanship, get you a taco or twist dog, or that's enough for it, and drink. We'll see you later. Any voting here that want to photo taking can be done after the showmanship until 1 o'clock at the banner. So all voting visitors, if you want your photo taken at the banner, from the conclusion of the showmanship show until 1 o'clock, the photographer will be over there to take your photo.
Spend a little more time on this vision. Wanted to, kind of spin around a few more times because being like what I talked about earlier, consistency from all views, being able to get what you need to do done quickly without maybe having to be real dramatic in your movements. And so I wanted to see maybe how we respond to that. Before I get any further down the road, I'm so glad you tucked in your shirt. It was driving me crazy for the rest of the show. But man, awesome job. I think you did. Let's talk about a couple things right here. And maybe one of the reasons that I wanted to do some of these things is because it's a little harder to see almost from the start where those pink pins start right there, kind of through right here, this first upwards pull. There's a little bit of a low spot. You kind of wrap this ring, and so for example, this young lady right here, it's right in the middle of it, and everything's like out. These two boys right here, maybe kind of go on an incline one way, downward, and they're kind of on the other way. So we wanted to see in some instances how to handle that, how to handle the front line versus back line, these types of things, and just positioning and ring, and maybe how to do that. There's a couple of things that maybe kind of stood out to me. But right there, awesome job that you do. Your goat's just a little easy right there behind his shoulder, and especially when we got over here, we got it kind of right here, and it's a little downward, and we kind of need to pop him up just a little bit to level everything out, and that kind of accentuated it just a little bit. If we do that, then it kind of changes the dynamic of this thing right here. But again, an excellent job that you did. A young lady right here, man, you brought in those goats throughout those couple classes, and you did just a bang-up good job. At times we got over here, back feet weren't quite placed quite right and everything. I don't mind just a little bit of rescission, but we got just a little too far off right there, and a couple things within. Awesome job that you did, I think. Both of you boys right here, well, right there could work just a little bit more on kind of, showing off that chest view just a little better. Buddy right here, awesome. At times we get that goat just a little stretched out and everything. Okay, so kind of watch that. So to me, despite the fact that I think any of these four young people right here really are very high-end kind of senior goat showmen. They're very capable, and they're probably a lot of showmanship contests at most county fairs. To me, it did come down to these two ladies up here at the front, right? And again, talk about first impressions, okay? And all of these kids made a very strong first impression to me. This show, you may be the first or second person in today, period. And immediately I was like, ooh, if nobody else comes in, this girl is very competitive, right? And you roll through and you get things done just like how you need to, and you're just rocking and rolling. Again, at times maybe you can get just a little off back feet, but most times you do a really good job of kind of getting everything set up. We're going to get a little critique. Maybe this is me being too picky and everything. When you're walking around, you really awkwardly kind of hold your arm out like this, kind of do a Ricky Bobby, what else I'll do with my hands kind of thing, right? And so a little more natural down here and everything and all that kind of stuff. But again, very picky thing. I think it's a high quality show. And this young lady right here in the front, one I think it just kind of busts her butt the whole time and was worried about just being perfect. I appreciate that. At times we see her maybe kind of messing with those back feet, maybe even when things weren't really off, but trying to get the absolute best view that she can. Sometimes because of that, we can maybe get that though just a little stretched out on her front end. And again, so I think being very critical on two big showings. So again, we talk about just consistency all the way through. I say that word a bunch. Use it a lot in everyday life, use it a lot in judging livestock, and just who is the most consistent to me, and as deep and competitive as this was, the young lady in the front just rose up to a very high level. Congratulations to you. Excellent job to all five of you out there and all of our senior kids. Congratulations.
Our champion senior showman is Jennifer Walker. We're going to take a 40-minute break at 1 o'clock. We will start back up with the